Hello! Today we are at ACT. We are going to be building my clutch, building the pressure plate, getting all the clutch parts together to ship out to Ohio for the white Mustang that we bought. We're going to go race it next weekend. So we're here this week so we can build everything and get it ready and get it sent out to Ohio. So let's go build the clutch.
Did somebody say clutch? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm so
You guys get a... Okay.
stand awkwardly like.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
So once we get the raw pressure plates in, this is where we actually keep all the components, well most of the components, the faces and the covers. All the covers before we send them to powder coat or do our conversions or put our weld rings on them, whatever we have to do. This is where they sit until then.
And then you powder coat them that awesome yellow?
Yeah. So we have no cars to work on right now, but this is our car area. These ones, they just pre-balance these ones, and then these ones are getting ready to go out to powder coat. So when diaphragm comes in, they come in as just regular flat pieces of steel, just laser cut, and then we'll actually put the ribs and the bumps and the angle in them, and then we'll do our heat treat process and get them ready to go out the door. And that's how we get the pressure and the feel we want.
Like that first, and then
Yeah. And that's how we get the pressure and the feel. We get to, you know, manipulate the part to...
you guys put it in there
Yeah.
yourself instead of just ordering pre-done parts.
And then these ones have the ribs, have the bump, have the angle, and we still need to temper them down, but they're pretty much ready. And then we'll temper them, and then they'll have the right shape and the right feel, and they'll be good to go in the car. And then this is where we balance the flywheels. So we put these on, and then we also pre-balance the faces. So when we build the pressure plates, they're closer to being the perfect balance than not. So if we don't pre-balance the face, then it'll take a lot more weight on the cover to make it.
We pre-balance all the pieces.
So we pre-balance it, and then we assemble it, and then we
together.
balance it again.
Okay.
But it works.
It's like when you adjust things.
When you adjust any roll bar to adjust the suspension to adjust...
They're actually doing discs right now. Put them in this machine. Let's see. They'll come down.
Oh.
And then that's how we actually get the size of the part. And then we'll just finish it off. And that's how we make our discs. And once the conversions are done or weld rings are put on, then this is where they come back from powder coat, where we keep all the finished diaphragms. So after they've been in process, they sit here waiting to be assembled. This is where they put all the linings on. So like this one had the center punched out, and then they put the spring package in. And then these ones actually take the lining, so and it's a full face. They're heat treated, and then they're zinc oxide black. 14. So whether it's a 6-pad solid or it's got a sprung center, this is where we keep them all, the raw components.
Now why is a full face organic? Why doesn't it hit as hard as a puck style?
So a puck is more like an on and off switch. There's no Marcel in the disc, so there's no compression. It's just the dry plate and then the two pucks. So like on a street disc, like an organic style, that actually has what's called Marcel. There's an actual air gap in here, which is the spring, which is called Marcel. And like when you're sitting at the light and you let off the clutch just a little bit, and you kind of like feed a little bit, but it's not taken off, it's not fully engaged. That's the actual Marcel. You know, you're compressing it and letting it go. So that's why it's kind of hits softer. You can modulate the pedal, and you kind of hold it without letting it all the way out.
Always wondered that.
And then we actually do all the broaching in-house too. So all these hubs, all these are raw. So these are normally a solid hole, and then we'll go through with the broaching machine and actually put the splines in.
Really?
Yeah.
So 13 spline or 26 spline or...
Correct. And then these are the race hubs. Yeah, those are solid too, and then we broach them all, mark them, broach them. 33. Make sure I put it back in the right spot. So these ones are marked and bored. They're just ready for broaching. So we bore them out to size, and then we mark the part number on them, and then we'll go ahead and put the broach in and put it in this machine right here. And then this is the broach, and if you look, it's tapered with all the little teeth in it, and then we slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we put it in there, and it pulls through. Obviously that's not the right one. Yeah.
Oh, these are all the broaches.
Yeah, so these are the broaches, all the different sizes.
No, yeah.
So that's what they look like.
But how does that thing gnaw through the metal? Like, 'cause
It just it progressively gets
Oh,
bigger and
I
bigger
see.
and bigger
oh, I see.
until it cuts it to size.
I see that.
Well, here are some of our hubs that are being broached at the moment. So pretty much we go and we bore them out to spec, and then we run them through the broacher and it gets it splined. So here you go, Danny. So go ahead, turn it on. Let's go see if the guy's over there. So this is Tess. This is Tony. This will be the guy helping you build your house today. So do you want to go and just get all the components and then?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm grabbing. So. Oh, I'm making a mess.
And now you just need to grab the diaphragm. You just want to grab one of those. You can grab the one to the right if you want. Right. So now we can go back and just grab the diaphragm right there. These are going to line up with these holes where the rivets are going to be. So right now we're going to be putting the diaphragm on onto the face. I mean onto the cover. So it all lines up like that. So I need to grab the rings real quick, so I'll be right back. Do you want some gloves or anything? Alright. So we're going to lay the wiring on just like that around. So then you take the diaphragm and then you flex the diaphragm to make it flat, because if it's not flat, there's going to be gaps in between the cover and the diaphragm. So you want it just about level. It can be a little bit, yeah, right there, perfect. So then just kind of check it, see if it's level. I'd say that's pretty much straight across. And you just line it up with holes right here.
Oh, something messing up.
Alright, it'll move around.
Look at that, I could do something.
Rivets. Just like that. Make sure it's centered. As soon as you let off the run, it just goes back up and then you hit stop.
Okay.
It's pretty simple.
So start both run buttons.
Start both run buttons.
So it starts clicking.
So it starts clicking, and then just let off as soon as it starts clicking.
Hit the trans brake button. When you're ready to go, let off the button.
Hit the trans brake and the line lock at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, this is a clutch place. We got a two-step in the clutch pedal,
Yeah.
not trans brakes. And
All right. So that should be good.
or go mush it.
I know, now I'm scared. Do I have to let it like warm up at all, or
Nope, you're all good.
let the little guy charge?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
Sweet.
Most important part, and I forgot to do.
So now, take it out. So here, do you want to unflex it?
Okay, it's not that.
Yeah, no. There we go. So now we're done with this tooling, so we can switch it out for, so it's 15 tons. So now we're gonna put the face onto the cover and diaphragm. So go ahead and set it up just like this. So just like that. base. Right there. Go ahead and just put those 3 rivets in these little.
I feel like you could do this so quick, but I'm just sitting here fumbling with it.
No, it's okay. We were all slow when we first started. I'm just gonna put the top piece on, so right here, and right
That
here,
pushes
that's
on
what-
the rivets and
presses
what?
the rivets, yeah.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and just put it in the machine and do exactly what you did before. So if you can come over here on this side and check to see how far you're in. So if you want to just come back towards your way just a little bit, right there would be perfectly centered.
That's good.
Let's go again. Perfect. All good. Yep.
Believe me, what you're doing to that thing is nowhere near the abuse that we're gonna put that thing through
Yeah.
in a couple weeks.
Good. Good. So we'll just take this out. So now we have a
Now just push it in.
pressure.
Full functioning pressure plate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we already have it set up for 2 different fonts. So would you guys like this white cracker or this white cracker?
That's up to you. I didn't know you told me to put that name on there. I don't know, that one kind of looks more...
That looks more white crackerish.
We're gonna turn this on.
We need glasses?
Yes. All you have to do is hit start.
Just like that. You stick your hand in there with your shirt.
Now we're gonna just pressure test it to make sure the clamp load's okay and make sure, you know, it's where it should be within the specs.
Look at that.
Easy enough. Now we'll just check it out real quick. In the specs, it's perfect.
So what's it at?
Like 2375. That's exactly where it needs to be. So
Yeah, the dial's
Getting the
pretty
paint
flat.
off.
yeah, that's all it is. Just going through, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
So. Now this is where we take it to balance. What we need to do is we need to comp it so that it'll read it correctly. And make sure it's on nice and flat. So what I'll do is make sure it's flat on there. And there's 2 buttons on the side here that it'll go off. It'll comp it real quick. Orientation, start the measurement, and then it'll tell you to rotate it 120 degrees. Second measurement. So if you want, go ahead. If you want to, you can go ahead and just pick it up and rotate it counterclockwise. Or clockwise, sorry. Yeah, just
All
like
the way
that.
over there.
Nice and flat, and if you never know, you can check flush on every side there. Looks good. Go for the final one. Line up this part with this, and it'll be, that's technically the heavy side. So what we do is we have a little marker.
Material out of it.
Just a little marker to double check. We are going to take material out, yes, but we're going to do a little marker right on here to make sure that, so what I want to do, or what I want to prove is that if I rotate it should always end up back on that marker to make sure that's out. Rotated, this part will be somewhere different, but it should be lined up with the marker that I marked, assuming it was done correctly. Look at that, nice and lined up, so that means it's comped. For this one, it's a little heavy because with our work orders, we want to get this force to below 2.25.
Oh gosh, yeah, a little way out.
So it's a little heavy. So we basically just want to get as close to that as possible. So what I'll do, since this closest one is right here, I'll just go right here. Put this little weight right here. On the other side, this little drill so that it won't go on. So kind of just line it up and let's start drilling. Flat, good to go. Boom, 0.19.
Pretty good.
Balanced and ready to go.
telling you that there is oil under to prevent rusting. Well, get it ready for the next one. Heat wire right here cuts it. That's just gonna go right up. Sometimes we can't fit some parts. We can only fit one at a time. So we have to, so that it doesn't move around. It's secure. Won't move or come out box. Some of them have specific instructions. Most of them are just regular. All good. Ready to go.
There you go. And then let's go get your parts. ATF 048, so that'll be over here. Right there. There's the liner tool.
I don't know if you can tell.
Alright,
Show
and
me what it
then
is.
what else we need? We need a RB1714. So that should be down here. Right there. Alright, sweet. Here, and then I'll go get your pressure plate.
Wait, I have an idea. The fan.
We're gonna make a mess.
Wow, look at you with all your stuff.